What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I hope y'all enjoyed the last one. Got another one looking at us. Not too big of a job, but not too small of a job. So we got this, let me shut the door so y'all can get a better look at what we're working on here. We got to study this thing up. Door shut good. Got to do a little bit of rust repair on it and a little bit of seam seal work, but yeah, that's her 64 Impala SS. Nice old car. So I want to study this thing up. So it's got a couple of small places it wants fixed, and we got to do some work around the trunk lip, typical stuff. Not as bad as that car right there, but let's see, we got a little bit of rust right there in the corner on the seat pan. A little bit of right there. That's not real bad. I'll show you how I'm gonna fix that. It's got a little bit of holage here, and probably some on the other side. But I mean, for an original floor car, this thing is solid. We got a little bit of work to do in the trunk. This thing's still got a trunk light, man. Nice car. So we're gonna probably peel all this rubber seal out. Original rubber seal. That's crazy. But it's got some rot right through here. Typical stuff, man. Just typical stuff for these old cars. Fill in them little bit of speckles down there at the bottom of the trunk, and then see about fixing a little bit of this. It's not real bad, but it ain't real good either. So when I pull the trunk lid off, that's gonna suck. So the trunk shuts so good and it's lined up. It ain't probably never been off, but I'm gonna be the one to take it off. So that's gonna be fun. Probably my goal today is just to get everything clean, get what I can metal wise fixed as far as I can, and get everything kind of ready to be re-seam sealed. And this thing can go on to back to its owner, and they can do what they got to do. So I'm gonna get started, study these parts, drink my coffee, and get after it. All right, we got the car turned around and starting to clean this gutter out. I'm gonna get the seal all the way out. Probably just gonna go ahead and replace this entire piece. I was kind of hoping we could kind of splice it in, but I'm gonna go ahead and probably just put the whole piece in because it's got enough problems. It's got some rot right there. I mean, you just barely hit it with a screwdriver. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace all that. It'd probably just be easier to replace the whole piece instead of trying to scab it in or doing all that welding. Knock out a couple spot welds, knock it out, put it in, spot weld it back in, and good as new. So, but we do got some rot issues in the rest of the channel, so we're gonna have to address that. We got some rot right there and right there. So get this seal the rest of the way out, and it even came with like these new pieces, so they look fine, but I'm gonna get it all apart and we'll we'll figure out what we're going to do from there. I might go ahead and get this trunk lid off today. It's gonna suck. That's so cool. It's got a freaking light that still works. The harness is in like perfect condition, still like it was from the factory. I love seeing stuff like that. That is so cool. So this is a really nice car. Let me go ahead and get this rest of the way out, and probably gonna take my wire wheel and just go around it and clean it real good. All right, getting ready to remove this hood. I made these trunk lid removal pads using space age cardboard technology with 3M tape. They're just going to slide in the corners right here, and I'm going to take this trunk loose and try to man wrestle this thing on off the car. Should be interesting. Fits perfect. I unplugged the harness. Probably ain't never been unplugged before since 1964. So I'm the first one to do it. Yeah. So let's get this trunk lid off, and hopefully it don't kill me. She's off. The pads worked out good. I think I'm screwed up and forgot I had it clipped to the hinge there. But you can see all the scale falling out of it. And we got some major surgery to do here. The pinch welds even coming loose. I was going to use this level to kind of help, but I thought it was going to probably come down on me, but it didn't. So that didn't work out too good. But now I can get around the trunk lip. So far it's looking really good. Like that's awesome. I'm loving that. And I'm hoping it's gonna look just as good up here. There's a little bit of stuff right here is kind of questionable. So we'll get it all cleaned out. Hopefully we can save it. And just replace this back piece. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Alright. Got everything cleaned up for the most part. I'm gonna do some work up in here. Trying to replace this entire lip. Kinda sucks, but it is what it is. This one's got a little bit of work needs to be done right there. Probably just weld in a little bit what I can and grind it, make it look halfway presentable. Same on this side. This piece, the lid itself, it's not terrible, but it ain't great. It's got some issues. So I'm gonna metal treat this. This is the worst on the front side. And this side over here is worse than the other side. It's pretty rough. And this is where it gets real interesting. All through here. It's not even connected no more. So we got to do something about that. Try to weld it up best I can, and we're going to probably just put some panel bond in it. I think he wants to retain the original trunk, and trying to keep this as affordable as possible. You start going into reconstructing panels and stuff like that, it gets to be costly, and aftermarket pieces just don't freaking fit. They're not going to fit as good as this does. So we're going to clean this thing up best as we can, weld in what we can, and then we're going to probably just panel bond and seam seal just to get it back solid as we can. I'm going to get all the loose metal off of it, of course. This is going to have a piece put in. It's pretty rough, but we don't want to jeopardize the front as much as possible. But it's going to have to get a little bit because I got to weld this up. Do something in here. I have to weld in a piece here, scab in a piece, probably make a piece here. Try to get it back connected. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit of finessing, but I'm going to worry about this piece first. This is where we're going to start. I just wanted to get that, kind of go ahead and get that cleaned up. That way I can be getting a game plan on that. Now I'm going to sit here and think about what it's going to take to get this the rest of the way out. I really don't want to pull the bumper. So I'm going to try to do it without pulling the bumper. I think it can be done. Is it just basically just going to slide right in place. This piece might be in the way, and these pieces might be in the way. Not a big deal. We got new ones if we do decide to take it all off. So, oh Lord, let's see. I'm just gonna start cutting. We got apart. Do some more studying on it. Hopefully you can do it without pulling this back bumper off. So I'm hoping I should be able to, I would think. Because it really don't, I mean, it just stops right there. So it don't like it ain't like it wraps around anything important. It's just a filler piece. So alright then. Oh man. Well, I ended up dropping the bumper down just enough. I caught hell, 900 hells getting them bolts out. One of them's still halfway in it. I had to cut the head off, but it's stuck in there. The way that it is, I'll have to deal with it later. This is what we got so far. A damn mess. So I got the bumper down low enough where I can work with it. I was just scared I may nick it with a grinder or something, and I didn't want to do that. So I've just been cutting a little bit off of here and there. Take my belt grinder, grinding the spot welds that I can find. I got more rust we got to deal with, so I have to remake that whole flange. So I'm just going to keep chipping away at it till we get in the corners. And we got a lot of work to do right here, a lot more rust. So we'll have to probably make this piece. That piece over there is pretty good shape. So just kind of keep ticking away. Let's get after it. Okay, I got it all out, and I had to cut a lot more than I wanted to cut, but I just went ahead and just cut all that. I'm going to make a piece go in there, but I'm going to end up probably cutting all this off and just remaking all that. And it's rotten. It's just so rotten right here. So it's all screwed up. Yay! So, see if I can't test fit this panel in. Get on in there. Get on in there. I might have to cut that piece right there just to. Come on now. Get on that thing. That's going to pretty much be right there. I need that to go in there. You get on in there. You like it. It's where you're going to live now. Ain't too bad. Looks pretty good. So it's a lot of work no matter which way you go. You could have tried to skim that and just cut that lip out of it and weld it into the old piece, but then you got a ton of rust in there, and we didn't know that it had a much rot right there in the corner, and then you got a lot of rot right in here. So it's good we went ahead and did that. My back hurts from messing with that bumper. So I guess I'm gonna take this back out. I'm gonna cut that lip out of there, find something around here to cut a lip out of. I got some sheet metal over there. I'll cut me a couple pieces and get that welded in, and we'll be good. Parts are here. Okay, I'm gonna measure this. It's 1 inch and 3 little lines. So 1 inch and 5/16. I'm just gonna probably cut it where that line is. Just get rid of it. They're only new once, so I'm probably gonna do half. I'll probably cut it through here. I need to measure all the way to here, so I can try to we'll tie it all back together the best we can. At least all that part will be solid. So like I said, cut in the middle. 27.5 inches is roughly what it's looking like. So, all right, let's get to doing some cutting. These batteries ain't worth a crap. Okay. Well, let's see. It said 27.5 inches, I believe. Or no? Yes. Lengthwise. You always use a black marker on a black piece of metal that you're trying to cut. Part of a daggum dirt track car. So we're doing some dirt track shit right here. Some dirt track shit. It doesn't have to be like dead perfect. We're just trying to make a flange. It wasn't perfect from the factory. It's all kind of different thicknesses and sizes and all that. So at least want to get that cut and get that kind of tacked in place, welded in, and get this tail panel in place, and then tomorrow we can come back in and finalize everything around the corners and work on the front lip. Okay. Alright, got them pieces made it. Got them welded in. So we got a good lip now. Solid. Alright. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to weld, and we're going to also bond this in. It's going to be a little bit better than it was. I like putting panel bond in stuff because that stuff's got such a high PSI rating of holding stuff together. It is, I think it's like 3,000 pounds or something. I can't remember what it was, but that stuff is unbelievably strong. And that's how a lot of your cars nowadays are put together. So I'm just kind of trying to get the whiskers out from underneath here. Kind of sucks, but these old cars, man, you just chase the rust so much trying to weld it, and you just burn through so much gas and wire and end up making a mess. I got this in welded solid enough. There's still some little pinholes, but I'm gonna come back in with some tape. We're gonna put some panel bond in it, and it's gonna be a good repair. It ain't gonna be, you know, concourse style, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's just gonna be a good driver. This ain't a concourse rebuild. But I had to do something about that lip because there wasn't nothing there. So at least we got something solid to go with now. So get all these whiskers out from under here. We'll get some panel bond going. I'm gonna scuff the bottom of this with some panel bond also. Yeah, bend these around. They gotta go the other way. The good thing about panel bond is it's anti-corrosive, so it'll keep it out. Which way does this thing go? I done forgot it. It goes like that right there. So we get that clamped in, get it in, glued in, then we'll come in, we're gonna weld, we'll weld the seams together. We'll weld what we have to. We're gonna weld here, weld in the corners, all this be bonded together. It'd be great. All right. Come on, tape, get some mat right in you. I always put some tape on the bottom side before I do this. That way, whatever access wants to fall through, it won't. I know some of y'all are probably cringing. I can't believe he's gonna do that. I can't believe that. It's really not that bad. It's not that bad. All right. Oh, got that scuffed up with a flat disc. Get this set up. Kind of keep it right there where I welded, kind of fill any kind of voids. I'm gonna come back with a spreader and kind of spread it around also. So all right, let me get a spreader. All right, it's looking good. Looking real good. All right, let me see if I can slide that piece in. I had it in once. I know I can do it again. Come on. You get on that thing. Come on now. You get on in there. What I thought. All right. We'll get some clamps. Try to clamp that. I hope I can with that bumper in the damn way. Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. Awesome. Loving it. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. Come on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Beautiful on the backside. Okay. Good thing about doing it this way is it saves me a bunch of time popping holes in this thing. And it also is going to act as a seam sealer on the back side and the front side and the sides and the ups and downs and the side by sides. So I'm probably going to add a little bit more right there. I'll clamp that one more time. And then tomorrow, because this takes a 24-hour cure, and from what I've been told and what I've learned going to 3M classes and all that, the longer it takes for it to set on the epoxy side, or the longer you let it set, the more tighter of a bond it gets. So that's what I learned. Is it true? I have no idea. I just know that stuff right there is awesome. It's 3M, part number 08115. 90-minute work time, 4-hour clamp time, and 24-hour full cure. So, oh yeah, we're sandwiched out on the front side. It's gonna be awesome. That's good. That's gonna be good. Welded and bonded. So let me squirt a little bit more in this corner right here while I got some still alive. I'm gonna squirt it up in that corner. Alright, that's all I want to do, because I got to come back in and weld up in there too. So alright, that should be good there. I'm going to clamp that down. Clamp, need another clamp. Clampy, old clampy. I don't know if I got another clampy. Well, I got one of these. I thought I had another clampy. Oh well. This'll work. You gotta do what you gotta do. Alright. And on this side we're gonna have to totally rebuild, because it was just rotten. So I'll come in. I'm gonna bring me some cardboard pieces in tomorrow. I like using like Coke box material, poster board. Regular cardboard's just too bulky, and I don't like the flues in it, or whatever you want to call it. So, and also going to try to tackle that front lip. We'll get this part solid, and then we'll move to that. Lord of mercy. All right. So I think one other thing I'm going to do before I leave is I'm going to blow this. I'm going to stick some tape up here, and I'm going to rub some panel bond in these holes. I think that'll be just fine. This thing is solid, man. So I think by the time he does that, and he sprays some rubber coating on the outside, on the underside, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Won't have to worry about it no more. So, all right, it is the next day. I'm gonna pull these clamps, see how well our panel bond is gonna hold that on. It should hold it very well. That stuff is amazing. Unclamp it. Just saves a lot of welding, a lot of work. Oh yeah, all right. I say that's on there. Yeah, it ain't going nowhere. Also yesterday, I went ahead and kind of started seam sealing and filling in some holes on the trunk lid. I just filled the holes in with it and spread it in. I'm gonna come back in and smooth it out. The whole front of this thing was kind of pitted, so I'm kind of using that to kind of fill in the pits. I'm gonna fix this, and I gotta do a lot of work up in here. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do there. So we're gonna have a full day on just doing trunk work again. Also got to replace the part of the rail up here and fix a real bad spot right there, and then maybe try to doctor on it right there a little bit. And then I gotta tie all this back in. I gotta make a patch there. I gotta drill a hole, squeeze this all together and weld that. So get a couple welds on. I gotta weld this in. I gotta put these back in. So yeah, I'm gonna probably cut me a strip and tie back in here to help hold the rubber. Same thing here, going to have to make a piece, kind of tie all that back in. Once we get all this cleaned up, then I'm gonna run some self-leveling seam sealer in there, and that'll kind of lock in a lot of issues. It'll smooth out the rail. There ain't no seam sealer left in the original channel. All the seam sealer's gone. I knocked a lot of it out yesterday when I was cleaning out the old seal. So we'll get it all cleaned out with some 80 grit. Just take some 80 grit and rub in there. I took my wire wheel on it yesterday. We'll get it prepped as good as we can. And yeah, we got a lot of work to do here. Lots of work to do here. So let me ponder on it a little bit, drink my coffee, and I'm really dreading that trunk lid. Really dreading it. Yeah. I'm just gonna take my sander, smooth out around the edges, and then work on that lip. You could panel bond it, but there's so much of it missing. You got a big part of it right there is gone. It needs a ton of work right there. We're gonna do what we can. Try to make it back solid. So yeah. All right, we got this cardboard template cut out. So I'm gonna cut this into some metal. About like that right there. And we're gonna form it to fit in that taillight pocket. Yeah. So see if I cut this right. Kind of an odd shaped piece. And it's gonna have some funky bends to it. Really funky bends. But what I can do is go ahead and weld it in, or start welding it. And I might trim on it just a little bit more. Let's start tacking and smashing. Just tack and smash it in. One thing you can do. Tacking and smashing. Ready for a little bit of tack and smash. Tack and smash. So got that welded in, ground down, looks pretty good. We'll let seam sealer and stuff like that take care of the rest. So got that side welded in, still gotta grind it. Now I gotta make the upper lip and get the back braces in. Oh, don't spill my coffee now, don't do that now. Well, first I gotta get these upper lips in. And these kind of weld to it, and braces. We'll get them in. This section will be pretty done. Put a fork in her, Clark, she's done. And then we get to have the fun of messing with this stuff. I can't wait. Oh God, I can't wait. All right. Took me a rough measurement and cut me out a piece that had already kind of a bend in it. That vise don't work, so I'm having to do this any other way I can find. I'm trying to get more of a 90 in it. Yeah, and I don't, it'd be nice to have a metal brake, but I don't have one. So I'm having to do what I gotta do. work on it some more. The only bad thing about doing that is you get hammer marks all in your metal and it kind of looks like crap. I'm probably gonna cut this and work it a different kind of way, but let's see. Yeah, gotta go some more. Just get them hands on it. It's thin metal, so it bends somewhat easy to form. Yeah, that's about what you want right there. I'm gonna mark it right there and cut it, and try to get my other bend, get that lip. I don't know why this thing didn't come already made that way. That's how the original piece was. So aftermarket stuff. So I'm gonna kind of keep it to where it's still running kind of flat. I'm gonna mark this with a black marker on a black piece of metal where you can't hardly see it, and I'll get this kind of tacked in place, and then we'll start doing our curve up. It's going to get kind of tricky, but we can do it. May take 3 different pieces, don't know yet. So let me go ahead and cut this, get that welded in, and then try to go ahead and form our lip to hold the rubber in, and then we'll move on to the curve. All right, I got it welded in, spot welded. I'm gonna go ahead and take my belt grinder and knock them spot welds down real quick. If I can, now I can't get it in there. So let me go ahead and grind that smooth. Alright, now I'm gonna take my fit all and kind of just go ahead and start working this way. Alright, where's my daggum old hammer at? Not doing what I want it to do. Gotta find, where my daggum wrench go? There it is. Alright. You get in there and you like it. Looking like a shit. Need something I can stick in there, kind of hold it in the shape I'm trying to go after. right there. I still got to come back in, grind it, make it look all good and uniform, happy. I wonder if I can cut that strip out of that and weld that in. Might try that and cut that line, weld that in. That should give me enough to make my lip. And we get to work on the other side and get this completely tied in and done. Woo! Alright, tail panel is in. Sucks I had to make all that, but this side went a little easier. Well, this because I knew what I was doing. So hooks are in, everything's in, welded. So it's bonded and welded. So now I guess I'm gonna move towards this front lip. And I don't know about that. That's gonna be some work right there is what that's gonna be. I also gotta get a video out for y'all. And this is gonna be it for this week. I was hoping to be finishing this thing, but I kinda got behind and I'm like 5 days behind schedule. So I'm gonna at least get this front lip done, get this welded back together, and I'm going to probably finish this thing up tomorrow. But pretty proud of how that turned out. That's turned out nice. So it's looking pretty good. Man, all right. Let me go ahead and cut this lip off. We'll go ahead and make that real quick. Got the lip welded in. Now I'm about to run some self-leveling seam sealer 3M. I pretty much run it all the way down, then I let whatever kind of run down, and then I just kind of do it with regular seam sealer after that. But I got some tape where I just welded just in case there's any kind of voids. It'll capture it. So we're gonna fill this up, let it sit, and it's gonna be a lot better than it was. It ain't gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be 1,000 times better than it was. So that's all we can ask for. Trying to get this gun set up. Come on now. Get on out of that thing. Alright, let's put some seam sealer in. That in. That stuff's got a 1 hour cure time, so I pretty much just run it to about right here, then I'll just kind of let it do its thing on down the sides there. It's running on down like it's supposed to, so I'm gonna let it do its thing. It's looking good though. Yeah, it's doing its thing. All right, I'm gonna probably have to call the guy on this deck lid. This thing's a lot worse than it first looked. See which way he wants me to go with it. It's pretty rough. It's pretty bad. So, man, as bad as I hate to say it, it's gonna probably do it for this video because I'm kind of running behind and the day just keeps getting away from me. This has been more involved than I was expecting. I was hoping to have this thing done, but just ain't the case. It's been a lot of work. It took me a lot to get the tail panel in, getting that bumper off. I had to get it out of the way. I was scared I was going to mess it up. You probably could do it without removing the bumper, but it's just easier and nicer with it out of the way. So, sorry I didn't get a whole lot done on this one. I was hoping to have it pretty much done by the end of the video, but just kind of how it worked out. Probably gonna be a part 2 to this one. Hope y'all enjoyed what little bit we did get done. Hope, you know, kind of give y'all some answers on what to do on some of this stuff. But go back and like some of the other videos, watch them, like them. You know, tell your buds, like, subscribe for me, and catch y'all on the next one.